Alright, here's a little follow-up to the previous video about wearing swords on the back. A link down below in case you haven't seen it. Maybe fantasy writers can get some useful ideas from this. So, generally if you're a wandering adventurer or anybody who travels and wears a sword, what would be a useful way to carry a sword? Along with your other stuff, right? Since you have a backpack anyway with supplies, this would make sense. Now, if you use a full scabbard like this, you can't draw it like that. And the main problem with the half scabbard carry that I showed in the previous video is that, well, half the blade is exposed. The scabbard isn't doing what a scabbard is supposed to. It's not protecting the blade. It's going to get dirty, it's going to rust, etc., etc. But if you have a fully enclosed scabbard, even with a Viking sword, which isn't terribly long, I can't draw it like this. It's not happening. But what I can do if I suddenly need the sword is slip through, grab it, drop the backpack, and there it is. Obviously it's not as quick as drawing from the hip, but it's not terribly slow either. Plus you would want to discard the backpack anyway, right? Because it would be a hindrance in a fight. So if you have to discard the backpack anyway, shrug it off, then you might as well grab the sword. And this also works with much longer blades. I've got a long sword on the other side. Because it's on the opposite side, I'm just going to grab it with the left hand and again drop the backpack. Here it is. Not very difficult. I mean, it pays off to practice, of course. Just like with a pistol, you would practice to draw, even though it's not the most complicated thing, but under stress, fine motor skills break down. If I had to draw it from the opposite side, it would definitely be more awkward. This way I'd have to just grab it in one way or another and just switch if need be. But if it's on the same side, it's a lot easier and reasonably quick too. Again, it takes longer than drawing it from the hip, but it doesn't take terribly long. If you're really in a situation where the attacker is directly upon you and you don't even have this quarter second or half a second extra, then you need to grapple anyway. You need to defend yourself first and then draw the weapon. If the swordsman is in a situation where there seems to be a certain risk of sudden ambush, like if they're in the bad part of town or on a road that's infamous for highwaymen, then it would definitely be better to carry the sword actually loosely, not even attached to the waist, but just in the hand, either like this on the shoulder or on the side, because this way you can actually use the scabbard as well to defend yourself with. You can parry with the scabbard, you can strike, you could thrust it into the attacker's face, or you could even do something unconventional, like essentially just slide it off and throw it with one movement into the attacker's face. So just like that. Anyway, just a little something I wanted to add to the previous video. Thanks for watching and have a good one, folks. Grab that with the other arm and again just drop the backpack and get stuck because the scabbard pulled out too far. Yeah, I have to attach it more securely.